Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ontronik. I'm in Santa Clarita, California today, here at Canyon High School, talking to the kids at the Summer Meltdown Music Festival. The goal of the festival is to bring together art and music from all over the world while raising awareness about autism and other disabilities. I've played at the festival over the past few years and I've gotten to know these kids really well and the organizers behind the event, so let's go talk to them and see what they have to say. So here, hanging out with Bret Lieberman, longtime friend of mine. He's been doing lots of good stuff for a lot of good people. So tell us about Summer Meltdown and how all this started.
Summer Meltdown started 12 years ago. I had 12 students that were being bullied. They said, you know, you throw concerts and you do stuff outside of school, Mr. Lieberman. What if we were to do that? Do you think we would be accepted and maybe be the cool kids? So I said, well, you know, it's a lot of things that go into throwing a production. And they said, so are you saying we can't do it?
Right.
And that questioning of the, so you're saying we can't do it, was the, all right, let's light the fire and let's do it. So our first production, we had a few local bands. The students were in charge of getting 4 or 5 sponsors, but at the time, for students who have communication deficits, that was a big thing for them to get on the phone and call these companies and say, hey, will you help us out with lights? Will you help us out with this, etc.
I'm the other co-producer of the Summer Meltdown, and we have been doing this for 13 years, and Ontronik has been on stage with us for like the last 3 or 4, and it's been amazing. Ontronik, you have been the highlight of the students. Every year, the one thing we say, who do you want, you know, what bands are we looking for, what artists, and every year, when can we have Ontronik back?
Awesome.
They love having you on stage because you invite them on stage, and you really make it a social inclusion activity, where it's not just artists and kids, but you're including everybody, and that is the whole meaning behind the festival. That was what our goal was.
There's no other band that says, come on here and let loose and rock out. What I see with my students when you perform is they totally let go of their bodies. They're not worrying about someone watching them.
Right.
And for the most part, these kids have to go through their life feeling judged, knowing that they're different. To be able to come on stage, rock out, look out, see a few thousand people and go, yeah, that's right, we built this stage,
exactly.
This is our voice, spinning the music, banging on the drums. He's even brought out our band from our school. Like, it doesn't get any cooler than that.
Yeah.
And I think that self-esteem and that experience is something that these kids will walk away with and take with them forever.
Over the years, the kids keep coming back, just like you have come back. It's become a family. And we now have like an army of students that come back as volunteers. And over the last 13 years, I've watched it progress from this tiny little concert to a huge one-day festival.
Right.
And that, for me, has been the most fulfilling. And it's not from me and Bret, it was the army of the kids and the graduates and their families. That's why we're able to do this and make it so much bigger.
Once I got to high school, I was a little nervous, but then once I got into this program, it really helped me out, and I started to interact more. It's a really great program to be in, and the Summer Meltdown is it's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of new people in so many bands, and I'm just very grateful. I don't know what I'd do without it.
We learned about different forms of autism, all forms of disabilities that people have all around the world, and I felt like that we were all accepted for who we are because of this program. And the Summer Meltdown, it brings everybody together for the awareness of autism and for any disability that's out there. So it's just perfect.
The community is like a pool of water. The Summer Meltdown is like a little drop. It makes ripples, and the ripples are like people. And as the ripples spread out, they affect more and more people's hearts. So we're the droplet, and we're affecting more and more people.
I've tried to get like a lot of sponsors, and I've contacted a lot of people. I've just stepped out of my bubble. I'm a really shy person, so just being on the phone with someone it's really difficult. But in here, like they kind of teach you a way to just talk to people, try to do the best you can. You're gonna get a lot of no's. It's most likely gonna be a no, but just do it. Step out there, and there's obstacles that you have to overcome, and at the end of the day, you'll have something awesome.
We're now at the skate park, a very well-controlled venue with tons of people, more notable artists, and a lot more people, and actually we had booths, and we have professional food trucks, and it's just, I feel like we as a community in our own program have improved so tremendously.
Once I got to Yes I Can and started to get to know all of these awesome, wonderful people, I started to make friends and my life became changed for the better.
Do you feel like where it started and where it is now, is it night and day? Because I know it started so small. And
when we first did it at the sports complex, we rented a little tiny stage that could barely fit, 5 people on that stage. Compared to where it is now,
right?
Absolutely,
with all the sponsors and everything.
And we have all the vendors, and we have 3 stages now, and it's just grown. We have the skate park. We never had that in the beginning.
The food trucks.
The food trucks. To watch that and watch the kids, they come up with ideas. This year we had a game truck because one of our students really wanted a game truck.
That's cool.
So for the last 3 years, he's been bugging the game trucks, and finally they said, yes, we will sponsor and we will come. And so for him, it was a personal victory. But that's how new things happen. The kids want them. We say, okay, you have to go get it. And then they work towards it. And then when it comes together to fruition, the kids get very excited.
What's next for you guys this year, or next year, or the years to come?
I think just continuing to put together a great festival that has great production value, continue to bring in bands, continue to bring in professional artists to do art therapy with our kids. I think sky's the limit. We're kind of an out-of-the-box idea. Nobody's doing what we're doing. We're the only concert that's produced, planned, and prepared by the youth. I say maybe a 2-day festival, and maybe after 2 days, if the right sponsor were to jump on, I would love to take it to a few different cities and let the kids get the experience of what touring per se, and seeing a new town, tasting a new food, those experiences. I think the world needs to know what these kids have done and what they are going to do.
Once again, thank you from the greater community at large for what you do and the love that you provide the world with and all these kids with, and that's an immeasurable thing that you're doing in the world, and I'm sure the legacy will speak for itself. And if you want to speak on that a little bit as well.
I definitely think I got to leave a legacy for my father. He was one of those people in special education who didn't look at the funds and what it would cost to help and better a life. He was one that looked at what in general would make the student have a better experience and have lessons and be successful in life. And I definitely hope that I'm leaving that legacy for his name, and that this meltdown and social inclusion and anti-bullying, we keep knocking over the haters.
That's right. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. I hope you guys were inspired by the teachers and the students of the Yes I Can program. We're going to be doing our part to continue to raise awareness about autism and other disabilities, and we hope to see you guys next year. Take care.